All right, people, it is week 2 of our book club, and I am outside and I'm sitting in kind of an uncomfortable position, and my hair is gray because I get my hair done tomorrow, so just ignore the gray in my hair. I didn't want to wait a day to do the book club because I wanted to get the book club done on Tuesdays. So last week I reviewed 4 books. Okay, so 4 a week is pretty ambitious, and most people probably can't even read that many books a week, so I'm going down to 1 or 2. And I have 2 really good ones this week that I'm gonna show you what I've read, and my plant is kind of in the way a little bit, and tell you exactly what I kind of thought of the book. So this first one, I just picked it up because the title caught me. It's Laura Bates' Girl Up, and it's a national bestseller, so obviously that's on the title too, and I loved the title. Okay, so it's called Girl Up, an owner's guide to our world and our bodies. It will definitely save sanity and might save lives. That was a review on the very front of it. So this talks a lot about what we women are told from birth all the way up. Talks about how many advertisements kids see in a day, and young girls. This book is geared towards younger women. It is fantastic. Very liberal, so if you're very, very conservative, they might find a few of these chapters a little saucy, I might say. And as I was reading it, even as from a 47-year-old, that kind of stuff doesn't really bother me, I was like, whoa, that's a little saucy and out there. Sorry, I have a dog throwing a ball at me. And but I would recommend this, especially if you have college-age kids, because it does talk a lot about how to stand up for yourself and how to handle uncomfortable situations. I also felt that in the book, it's got such big writing. So like this you might find offensive. Vagina is not a dirty word. I didn't find it offensive, but there are people that would probably say this book is not good. But you know, it talks about women's bodies, which I loved this. So if you look at this, it says airbrushing. So this is airbrushing. So this is the actual woman, and this is an airbrushed. This is what we see in all of the advertisements, but this is the real world. And so she does a lot of explaining about that in this book. A lot of how children look at why is being skinny so popular, and why isn't being healthy, or healthy being the word that should be used instead of skinny, you know, things like that. So it's actually really interesting. There's a lot of there's chapters in this book that are dealing with racism and sexual harassment. You can always change your mind. There's, you know, all different kinds of stuff. Like I said, if I would probably give this a 7 out of a 10. I would say the last few chapters of the book turned me off a little bit, just because I am not 100% in agreement with a few of the things she says. But so I'm gonna link this book. Like I said, it's probably a pretty good book if you have kids that are in those early teenage and on years. There's probably some things in here that maybe they would have a hard time talking to their parents about, which they might feel more comfortable reading it out of this book. So this would maybe be a good gifting book at Christmas time. So Laura Bates' Girl Up was the first one. The second one I absolutely loved. This is what my channel is about, and if you have to buy one book this year and you are on a limited budget, you can get this book off Amazon for less than $10. And this book, I bought it at the library, and I'm actually gonna buy it because there's so many different things in here that I just love. So this one is called Learning to Love Midlife, 12 Reasons Why Life Gets Better with Age by Conley. And actually, this is the second time I have checked out this book. And as I was finishing this book up last night, I was kind of going through which quotes kind of caught me you know what I mean, or sparked something in me. And one of the chapters is called I Have More Life Left Than I Thought. and I just resonated with this chapter because this chapter showed me that statistically, most people are going to live to 80 to 85, and at 40 and 50 years old, you potentially have only lived half of your life. And my very favorite quote out of here that I absolutely love, and I'm actually going to use this quote, I'm going to email him and ask him if I can use this quote on my channel, is don't give up at halftime. When you're playing a sport, you never give up at halftime. So why would you give up at halftime in your life? In midlife, why would you quit living your life halfway through? A lot of people go into what they call a midlife crisis, and they just go down the black bottom hole, think that nothing is going well for them, think they want to change jobs. They're just not happy with where they are in their life, or they had thought that they would be different by the time they were 40 and 50, and we all go through that. We all have thoughts like that, but your life is only half over, and so you can change. You can change what you want to do. You can get out of your rut. I just absolutely loved this book. It goes into having a lot of faith-based things, prioritizing your loved ones, different things like that. The chapters are pretty interesting. So it starts with the physical life, and looking at your physical body. It goes to the emotional life, how as you get older, you have a higher emotional intelligence and you're wiser, which I do tend to agree with that. And then you go into your mental life. You're understanding how your story serves you. I've learned how to edit my life. Then it goes to the vocational life, which is nearing retirement. A lot of people are joyously stepping off of that treadmill, and they have that time affluence. They have more time than they ever used to have, and they are enjoying that time and enjoying all the little things in life that they just didn't enjoy when they were in their 30s and 40s because they had to rush from here and rush from there. That is the joy of a lot of grandparents have, because they have time to enjoy their grandchildren probably more than they had time to enjoy their children, because they aren't in that phase of gathering and getting their kids grown up and through life. And then it goes into the spiritual life. So there is broken up into 5 sections, and it's a really simple read. He does a very good job of explaining things. So I highly recommend this book. Actually, for people that are in the midlife stage, like I am, in their late 40s, 50s, I really recommend this book. And if you have a friend that is struggling, I recommend picking this book up for them. And I'm going to link this in my stories, and I highly recommend this one. So these are my 2 books that I had for our book club this week. Girl Up. I know these are both personal development books, but I didn't finish the other book I'm reading by Tessa Bailey, and so I'm finishing that one up for next week. I just didn't have time with everything I had going on this weekend, so I'm sorry. It's the 2 self-help books this week, but next week we'll do the fun ones. So again, Learning to Love Midlife by Chip Conley, 10 out of 10. Girl Up, 7 out of 10. And that's what book club is for this week. And I hope you have enjoyed my book selections from week 1 and week 2. And next week I said we'll have 2 fun ones that I will highly recommend. And actually I went to Target yesterday working with my daughter on her dorm room shopping, and I took pictures of all the end caps because that's where all the good book talk books are. So I have some really, really good ones coming up. I've got them kind of on hold at the library. I do purchase some of them. I'm just so thrifty that I prefer the library, and I like to support my local library. So I try to get as many as I can from there. And I always have late fees, so I'm still supporting my community. But anyway, thanks for joining me on week 2 of our book club, and I will see you on week 3.